Kevin Savarda, Instagram opposing cylinders, but this is my 1941 Willys coupe. So all steel, original race car. Had it for about 10 years now. My father, his old car, and his friend used to drive this car. So they drove everywhere together in the early 70s. And now I have my father's old car. Low Man Rods out of Tip City, Ohio. Mac Nicewander did the restoration. It was a 3-year build, had about 4,000 hours in the build. Yeah, the car, it was a 1964 NHRA Best Engineered car. So we have all the original documentation, all the old magazines. I actually have race video of this car from 1964. So Low Man Rods was able to get all that documentation and pictures and be able to recreate a lot of that car and still keep it kind of best engineered. From 1964, they did not need a roll cage back then. So Low Man Rods fabricated a full roll cage. When we unbolt the front fenders through the grill shell, the entire front clip will slide off of the cage. We have door pins on the doors. The doors can pull off from that as well. But a lot of extra fabrication inside the car, the headrest, but we kept a lot the same. The wheels, the dark blue paint, all the aluminum inside, it had all that in 1964, and it did run a Chrysler Wedge in 64 as well with Hillborn, so we kept all that the same. It is all steel, so it makes it a little bit more rail. Inside, the entire body is painted just as slick. The first time Mac Nicewander and I drove the car, I was shaking, I was so nervous. But after that, you get used to it. Mac and I did a trip, Hot Rod of the Year with it in Indianapolis the first year. We drove about 200 miles in it. We made 4 pit stops for fuel, about $200 in gas, but we did 5 stops along the way. And unfortunately, we hit torrential rain coming back, so it took me a week to clean it. Mac is wiping off the windshield, all the fog, and I'm white-knuckled holding on to the steering just to make sure we don't put it in a ditch. But no one can say it's not driven. We've driven it in a lot of different tours all around.